It's the Joel Shit Show, featuring Joel Shit. Hi, welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. So, last night, Spinning Platters had its holiday podcast. I don't know that they called it a holiday podcast, but I'm calling it a holiday podcast. Basically, it was an end-of-year thing where a bunch of us got together and talked about what we thought were the best albums of 2009. And I would tell you, but I'm not supposed to be a spoiler. So instead, go to spinningplatters.com every day until you find out what the #1 album of the year was. I'll give you a hint, it's not the new album from Rihanna. So, I guess that's a spoiler too. So, there you go. Now, why even care? If Mrs. Brown isn't going to be up there, there's just no point. So, I went to work, and it was raining in the morning, so I said, I'm going to drive to work, because I don't want to sit on the train. I talked about this, didn't I, when I was in the car yesterday on the way to the train, on the way to the freeway? I think I already talked about this. So, drove to work, did work, and then at 4 o'clock I said, alright, it's not raining, I am going to go to San Francisco and do this podcast. Because at first, I wasn't going to, because I was like, well, I don't really want to drive in the traffic and then sit on BART. Remember, the same thing, BART is no different than Caltrain. It's public transit in the rain. I have issues with that. So, and I wasn't going to drive to downtown San Francisco and try to find parking in the financial district. No thanks. So, plus it was really cold yesterday. The high temperature was like 48 or something ridiculous. And for here, that shit doesn't happen. This morning in Napa, it was 19. Very, very rare. It has happened, but it's very rare. I think the coldest that Napa's ever gotten that I remember is 1990. It was 13. My grandpa told me. It was 8 in his backyard. It got down to 19 here, and that's the coldest I think I've ever seen San Jose get. But, we'll be fine. So, sun was out fine, drove to Millbrae, got on the BART, got off of BART, Montgomery Street, walking down New Montgomery to 199 Montgomery, where we were having the podcast, and I was also working for Yahoo at the same time. It was a pretty slow night. I only had 3 tasks to do, and none of them were very hard. So that was nice. I got to edit something about the TV show Scrubs. I think it'll show up on tv.yahoo.com at some point, and you'll say, hey, I remember when Joel was talking about that. He must have edited this. And the answer is, yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was actually pretty well written. I was surprised. The word storyline is actually 2 words. And I was going to change it to 1 word, and I looked in the dictionary, and I said, you know what? Storyline is 2 words. So the writer had it correct. So the podcast took like 3 hours, and that was a lot of fun. I made everyone listen to Gretchen Phillips' song Swimming, which is a great song, and DP bought it on iTunes. So Gretchen Phillips, you just made 10 cents or whatever it is that you make when someone buys one of your songs on iTunes. It's a great song. Thank you, Gretchen Phillips. Unfortunately, we will not use the entire song on the podcast. It's a copyright thing and fair use and all that. We'll use a couple minutes of it. Unfortunately, we will not be using the monologue from the song, which is my favorite part. I know, I'm not in your demographic, but I like your music anyway, so that's too bad. So then after that was done, went to BART, took BART to Millbrae, drove home, went to bed. Whoop-de-doo. As I was driving home, I realized something. Where is my work badge for Stanford? I didn't know. I said, I remember taking it off and saying, I don't need to leave this on because I'm not taking the train because it's raining. Or it rained. I have my car with me now. So where is it? So I'll put it in my pocket. Well, it wasn't in my pocket anymore. So that will tell you, that gives you a little hint on what tomorrow's episode is going to be about. Tomorrow's episode is actually pretty exciting episode, I think. But I got home so late that I decided to sleep in. Plus, my girlfriend's battery died yesterday and she needed a jump. I thought she may need to take her car in, so I wanted to be here in case she needed me. She didn't need me, but I didn't go into the office anyway because 1, I got in really late, and 2, I had to go to the Stanford main campus and pick up my new stickers, which I will talk about in tomorrow's episode. I'm already speaking of spoilers, but it's okay if it's my own show, right? But that's what tomorrow's episode is going to be about. The things that happened today, it's entertaining. Tomorrow's episode is going to be awesome. So all the time we have for today, visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com. In fact, I'll probably bury this episode and upload it tomorrow, so that way the new one's on top, because tomorrow's episode, way better than this.